Recording. We're on. Perfect. All right. So good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine, fine.
You're fine?
You?
Yes, I'm good. I'm happy to see you today.
Me too.
So
Oh,
let's just,
so do I.
I know your name, but I'm going to ask you again. What is your name?
So my name is Xavier, but in French we pronounce it Xavier.
Okay. And so you're from France, obviously.
Yeah.
You were born and raised there?
I'm born in France.
Yes, born and raised, which means you've been raised is a...
Okay, yes, I born and raised, grew up. I grew
exactly.
up. I grew up in France.
Okay. And so how long have you been here in the United States?
I'm here for almost 1 year. Actually, we arrived with my family, to be precise, the 27th February
Of last year?
Last year.
So yes, it will be a year very soon. Okay.
Yes.
And where in France are you from?
I'm from close Lyon. Lyon is a town in the middle of France, but in the east.
In the east coast, I mean border.
Yeah, close the mountain.
Okay. Okay. And so how do you like living here in Greensboro in the United States?
Greensboro, it's particularly quiet life because you could really let your garage door open all the week and nothing could happen. It's really safe and it's good. And the traffic on the road is really fluent. I mean, there's not too much car on the road, so it doesn't take too much time to make your trip, and people are driving really gently and quiet, so it's good. I really appreciate this part. Sure.
Like that, you didn't have that in France?
No, in France we are quite hurry, rushy. Yes.
Yes. So your life here is more relaxed.
Yes.
Yes, you like that. So you said you came here with your family. Does that mean you have kids? You have your wife and kids, I suppose?
Yes. So
how many kids do you have?
I have 2 kids.
Okay.
One daughter and one son. My daughter is 5 years old and my son is 7 years old. My daughter name is Juliette and my son is Clément.
Okay. And so they are learning English as well?
They have been learning English here. And of course it continues.
Yeah. And do they like learning English?
For my daughter, I can't say if she really like, but she's really able to process and like I'm not sure for the pronunciation. To acquire English, and it seems really more easy for her. And but she, for the moment, really don't want that we speak English at home. For my son, it's more difficult, but he is able now to speak English. And also he don't want to speak English because when I speak English with him, he answers to me in French. But it's not a trauma for them, really not. They were probably under stress at the beginning as us, for sure. But the kids have an ability from react uh, quickly than us.
Yeah, reacting and acting with others, and also talking to others in
Yeah,
a more
yeah,
easily way.
also, and they can acting with other without mm, apprehension.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we could use it in English, but without fear,
Mm-hmm.
because it's more close their process. They are more. I mean, they haven't forget the process how to learn to speak. I talk about the same process that they use when they need to learn their native language.
Mm-hmm.
They are more close than this process than us as adults, so they can't abort any person easily
Mm-hmm.
without thinking about it before, just practice
Mm.
and catch it.
They're more natural in the way they approach people, and they just don't think about speaking English. They just speak. They just try.
Yeah,
Right.
I think they don't think about errors. They don't think about
Mm-hmm.
error. We're thinking about error because we think about uh, your reference, your native language, and we try to build a comparison. But kids don't use it. They don't think about it. Just practice, and after they were process the new concept that they learn through the new language. But
Mm-hmm.
for us, it's different.
You find
We
it
have our brain is not blank.
right.
Yeah, we have already we built some concept for express something for in grammar and vocabulary, and and for me, I really need to start by my own concept, native concept, and and check with the new concept, the new way to express something, and and try to understand. If I can't understand why, I can't learning. And after, I really need to practice without thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Let, like the kids, make error without thinking about my error. And I need the two step.
So you think it's a more
Academic
difficult
courses and
process for you as a adult, right?
yes, big. Yeah, really, really. It's it's difficult for me um, because I'm thinking with my native alphabet.
Mm.
I use my native alphabet when I want to read a word. The only thing what's happened is French sound.
So yeah, so it's a relief that it's the same letters, but because you pronounce it differently, it's actually more difficult for you.
Yeah.
You think because you tend to say the in a French way, like you will say the letters in a you will pronounce it a special way in French, and you have to completely change everything you've known so far.
Yes, so
That's what.
when I read a new word in English, my pronunciation at the beginning is not as expected from a native English. So it's at the beginning, from this is difficult to be understood.
Right. It is. Better. You're doing good. So tell me about your experience in the United States. Is there something that surprised you when you arrived here in a good way and in a bad way? What do you thought was just great about this country or about the way of living here that would be different, something that you don't experience in France?
Okay. My first experience is when we came here for 1 week to visit Greensboro and find a house. And we went also in school to pick up information for our kids. and I was very surprised about the relationships between adults and kids. It's it's like there is no the difference is it's not like no difference between adults and kids. Both are person,
Mm-hmm.
and so kids seems really more considered as a person in development than in France. Kids seems more considered as just kids, and we mm, we show them the difference in your relationships.
Mm.
So this is a good thing for me, a new
That's
thing
very
to
interesting.
learn. Yes, and the the thing that I was very disappointed when I came here is about the many documents that we have to fill, and and even we filled the information, we have to refill the same and refill the same information because administration are not connecting.
Mm. Is that for your work permit and your is that for your visa you mean or for anything?
Yes, visa, work permit, but also, for example, for kids when they previously they have when to go to school they have to be mm, uh,
You have to sign a release form of some sort.
I mean they have to receive some shot, and we
Vaccines.
yes, and we filled some document for that. We believe it was fine, and actually when we went to see the nurse, we discovered no. Actually, it was only just a few parts of the process, and there were a lot of different stuff to do, and that is quite disappointable when we think, okay, I do my best to try to understand, I do my best to answer, and actually I haven't really understand what happened, what we have to do.
So you feel that they are asking a lot regarding administration and rules.
Yeah, and when you try to understand how does it function, the person is about just to explain her part, and after it's up to you to do things. Maybe there is another something big, yeah, behind to know, and you have to search it and discover by you alone. Alone.
But you have to discover it by yourself.
Yeah, by myself. So, but how I can, I don't know. How does it work really? And I can't imagine how it could be different than we do in France. So yes, was quite difficult and disappointing at the beginning.
Yes. And
But
in your everyday life, is there anything in your everyday you're like, oh, I wish this was different? Do you, or you said you actually like the fact that it's very relaxing and.
my life here is different than in France. In France, I was active. I had a job, and here I have a job. I'm a student. It's different, and the comparison is not easy.
Yes, that's true.
But in common life, about if you could talk about food, for me, food here is too sweety, very too sweety, and even when it's there's some salt, there's also too sugar.
Too much sugar.
Too much sugar in the food. So yeah, this is sometimes difficult. Yes,
Yeah.
but I really need to spend more time and to be immersed and feel the life here and maybe first say something to explain the difference between US and France. But
Yeah.
even
Now in your.
it's not easy now to say really. I can't say. Just say
Yeah.
I miss my
Yeah.
family from France, but
Of course.
it's normal.
Yeah.
And I would like to obtain a job here, and I'm sure I'm able to manage a job. I would be really proud to do it.
Yeah. And so that's why you're taking classes right now, English classes, right? In order to be able to, that's your goal, to be able to have a job later on.
Yeah. My first goal when I came to GTCC is to develop a pronunciation, improve my pronunciation and my listening, and but now I am in a state that I say, okay, I have enough skills to have discussion, and if I can't understand something, I could uh, identify the words and ask what this word does mean. And so the next step for me is to get a job, to show I'm not lazy guy, and I'm really able to do it, to do my best for that.
Yeah, well, you're already trying your best because you're going to school, trying to learn a new language, and you mentioned it's not that easy. And changing life like this, like being active, working in France, and being in a more relaxed environment here, and just being a student is completely different. So that also takes time to adapt and adjust.
Yeah,
I would say.
adaptation it's a long process. It's challenging,
Yeah.
and that's why it's interesting, and we can find a motivation.
And is your wife adapting well in her life here, at her work?
Um, for her, the situation could be different because she used to speak in English at her job in France for 10 years. So
So she didn't have a language barrier when she came here.
she just had the accent barrier. She needs an adaptation time for that, but not more.
Yeah, so she doesn't have frustration about this, but she likes, she adapted well to being in a new country with a new colleagues at work and new jobs, right?
Yeah, she really appreciates to work at Volvo because it's an international company, and she can meet many people from everywhere in the world. So and she really loves connecting people and work in a team. So yes, she's a good element here.
Okay. And I suppose at night when the family gets together, you all speak French, or do you try to speak English sometimes?
We are speaking French, and but from probably 3 weeks, I try to speak English, but it's difficult for me because I don't have enough vocabulary to express really my mind or my emotion. And I could recognize I need to learn just the most common and usual verb in English. I really need to do it because it's for me necessary to be able to express just normal and common things in life. And but yes, sometimes I try to do it. Sometimes I switch in French because I can't, and sometimes I forget to speak in English.
Well, it's very hard because you've been using to speak French altogether, so it's very hard. No. Yeah.
In the afternoon, I tutoring my kids about homeworks, and during this time I speak English with them when I
Oh.
as possible as possible. But sometimes when I can't express, I switch in French. But
Mm.
I force me to speak in English. But my son all the time answer answer me in French.
Yeah.
My daughter sometimes she's agreed to answer in English. But when we try to speak English with my wife just together, she she usually comes to us and say, "Ah, not talking English at home. We are French. We are not here for speaking English." But I had one discussion with her, and I said, "You know, we went here expressly for learning English. And we aren't here to be French. We are here to learn English
To be French
and
in
live as an
English.
American live."
Hmm. That's very good. And yeah, that's very smart, actually. I think smart thinking, reasoning.
If
Yeah.
you want
Yeah.
about this experience, would be profitable,
Yeah.
improve skill. We really need to play the game and do our best.
Yes. Definitely. Now, with your kids? Do you go out, like play sports, or go bike a ride, or do go to a park, go walking? Do you do little activities with your kids? What do they prefer, and what do you like to take? Where do you like to take them?
Um, we spend a lot of time for the homework, so um, we play some time with my son at remote control cars,
Mm-hmm.
and kids ride bicycle. But every Tuesday morning, they they go to tumblebees and they learn climbing, and it's it's really good for them, mm, and they really enjoy it.
They like it, yeah.
Yeah, they like it, and the coach is really good for with the kids.
Hmm.
Really.
And they understand everything. They manage to do the activity rather well. What does the coach say?
It's strange. I can say, you know,
Yeah.
when I am in the same room and I stand in corner and I observe my kids. And American kids looking at the coach and since process and understand what he said and they they show some face movement. They nod their head. My kids are like looking around, sometimes listening, but doesn't seem express and understanding expression. But they are able to do
The activity.
the activity.
Yeah.
So I can say, and sometimes there are some questions for the coach. So
Yeah. So they're not shy, and they're trying.
yes, they are trying. Yeah, yeah.
So
It is good.
maybe it's just a different attitude they have.
Mm.
Maybe they just have another attitude with the coach than the Americans, but that doesn't mean they don't understand. Because they do
Could you repeat just the last?
Oh, maybe it's just they may have another attitude with the coach, but that doesn't mean that they don't understand because they manage to do the activity.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just they do understand maybe in a different way. They don't need to say yes to the coach. It's just their way of expressing themselves is different. Maybe that's interesting though. That's funny that you look at your kids and
Yes,
try to
yes.
find out.
I'm quite curious about it, but
Yeah.
until now, I haven't discovered it.
And did you take a vacation during Christmas, or did you did you discover another part of the United States maybe during a vacation? Would you like to tell me about this?
For the summer vacation,
You did not go back to France for summer.
No, but we did the lazy guy because we went to Quebec because it's a French part talking. So, but we went there also because we had a friend that we haven't seen for a long time. So it was a great opportunity to do it. But and for the Christmas vacation, we returned in France and spend time with your family. But we thinking about to take a trip in the next summer. But before for Easter vacation Easter break, we are going to Florida to visit Florida.
Very good.
And
Yes.
in next summer we would like to visit probably Yellowstone. It's it's have to be defined.
I'm sorry.
We have to define it to decide.
Oh, okay, different. Yes. I've been to Yellowstone. It's beautiful. I'll show you a picture later on, but yeah, it's a nice trip to do with kids too. So
Okay, all right.
yeah, very nice idea. And in Florida, you know what you where you're gonna go already? What
No.
destination? Or are there special points of interest you'd like to see in Florida, like the Everglades or?
We for sure we are going to Orlando because there is a famous museum about space. I'm really interested about this one, and but after I can't say really because I let my wife manage it, and I trust her. You know, I can rely on her for that. Well, we had discussion about Everglades, but we are quite frightened about alligator, and for the kids. But I would like to cross Florida and go to the west coast and profit about the sun.
Go swimming.
Yeah, snorkeling
Yes.
would be good.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, well, I think we did very well. I think we can call it an end. That was very good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you very much, Xavier.